My head was banging so loud that I was crying out loud. I was weeping. So that for any boredom like this, I'm already teary. I'm like, but most times I used to form strong lady and I would just hold the tears back sharp. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ifeoluwa Kimpelu. If this is your first time here, this is the face of the Lady Ife. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope that you do enjoy this channel. On this channel I film about faith, femininity, family, love, relationship and marriage, and lifestyle. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video. I really do appreciate you and I love you. So today and in this episode, I'll be sharing with you my pregnancy journey. If you were glowing, what happened? If you were active, how did you do it? If you didn't show up at all, we didn't see you, what happened? You're going to hear everything between. So let's get started. So I got to know that I was pregnant in September 2022. This is 2023. So I got to know I was pregnant in 2022 September, and I was very excited as usual. If you have not seen the video, go and check the video here. I'm going to put the link here. Okay, so after the announcement, in fact, in the announcement, you will know that I told my husband that I was feeling feverish. So after the fever, what did we do? I was like, okay, maybe it's normal. It's a normal pregnancy symptoms. I had not tried to register for antenatal, so I didn't even want to go to the hospital. So I just kept on coping with it and all. So it got so bad that it stayed maybe around 12 weeks or thereabout. I was feeling very sick. I started having headache, but I was just saying, oh, it's pregnancy symptoms, I spoke to my mom. My mom would be like, okay, that was one of the things she also experienced on her journey and all. Like, first trimester is always hard, and that's the way it is. So I just kept on saying, okay, I'll get better. But I remember this day, I could not cope again. My head was banging so loud that I was crying out loud. I was weeping. And my husband was not even in the room with me. I think he was in the other room. And it was the sound of my cry that just made him aware that something is wrong with me. And he ran into the room and said, Ife, what is wrong with you? He met me holding my head, crying. And I was like, it is headache. He picked up this phone and called the doctor immediately and said, this is how my wife is feeling. Okay, actually my wife is pregnant, she's feeling this way. So that was said, okay, bring her right here immediately. So I got to the hospital. I told them how I was feeling and unfortunately, you guys do not believe what was wrong with me. It was malaria. I'd been having malaria all this while, but because I was like, I knew that I couldn't really treat malaria in first trimester, so I wasn't even thinking I could be malaria. So the headache was just malaria. It wasn't pregnancy symptoms. They realized that I had malaria parasites in my blood. I checked my PCV, it was a bit low, and they were just like, I have to treat malaria. So I treated malaria. I told them that I prefer injection, I don't want drugs. But the doctor told me then that it was already safe for me to take malaria drug because it had passed first trimester by I think a week or two as at then. So it was safe for me. So I said I wanted injection, and also I was given injection for 3 days, and that was how I treated the malaria episode. So another symptom that I had in first trimester was nausea. Oh god, I felt so nauseous. I was always like, it was like I was going to throw up. Oh my god. Nausea was there and it was bad. The other one that was bad again was metallic taste in my mouth. I just couldn't cope. I would be feeling the metallic taste. It would be so terrible. And I didn't want to be taking sweets or chewing gum every time. I just had to cope, and that metallic taste actually lasted till I think second trimester. Then it went for a while, then came back again towards the end of my pregnancy. Another interesting thing about my first trimester was that, guys, before pregnancy, I do not take cold water. I take normal room temperature water and I'm good to go. But the moment I got pregnant, I could not tolerate room temperature water again. Not at all. I had to take cold water. If the water is not cold, I'm not taking it. In fact, sometimes I have to put ice inside the cup, pour cold water, not even room temperature water, cold water on it, and that is what I'm able to drink. And that's the thing that also worked for the metallic taste that I had in my mouth. So that period, that was one of the things I knew that pregnancy made me start doing. I drank cold water like anything. I remember when I'm going to church, I'll make sure that I fill up water in my bottle and keep it in the freezer so it will be blocked that's on Saturday night. So by Sunday morning, it will be blocked already. I'll just pick it. And by the time I'm done with Sunday service, my water is still very chilled. So that is what I'm going to take all through the day till I come back to church. And sometimes I'll break ice inside my flask, my thermal flask, and pour it inside. Then I'll be adding water little by little and be drinking it. I could not tolerate anything but cold water. Then again, there was this symptom that I had that was funny, that still related to my emotions. That's I was teary. Anytime I'm bored, I might just start crying. I'll just be like, why am I feeling this way? I'm teary. I'm like this. I'm like that. I remember there was a time my husband had to go for a job and it was supposed to spend like 3 days. And I was like, okay, it's fine. And my sister came around. And I think he spent maybe a week. God, I remember I'll call him on video call. And I'll be crying. My sister was around though. She'll be in the living room and she'll just look at me and say, what's wrong with you? In fact, I think it was at that point I had to tell her that I was pregnant. She said, oh, she looked at her and like, okay, I understand, sorry. So that for any boredom like this, I'm already teary. I'm like, but most times I used to fall strong lady and I would just hold the tears back sharp. Another thing that I had was slow assimilation rate. My assimilation rate was slow. Oh my good God. I can read a page 5 times and I still do not know what is inside. I cannot comprehend movies, guys. All through my first trimester, I don't like to watch movie. So a lot of times when my husband is watching movie, I'll just tell him, babe, let's just watch drama. Even though I might not understand, let's just watch drama. Or I should just excuse myself and just go and sleep. I will just sit down and be look at everything around. And I also had this evening sickness. Mine was not even morning sickness. It was more in the evening. In the evening, I will just be looking like this. I cannot comprehend anything. Even when my husband is watching movie. In fact, I literally remember the time I would beg him and say, babe, please don't watch anything that has to do with science fiction. All those giants or one heavy machine or what. I would be cringing. Like, I would just like, no, I don't want to watch. I don't know what pregnancy has to do with that, but it was just something that happened in first trimester. And after then, I was able to overcome it and that was it. Was a lot. Another symptom I had in my first trimester was tiredness. I was always tired. Guys, if I'm in church or at work, before I walk for like 2 hours, 3 hours, I'm already tired. I'm yawning. I want to sleep. Oh my good God. I dozed off in church like anything. I'm sure that anytime my pastor looks at my face, he's just like, because my pastor was away. So he was just like, this time I just leave her. And I will not sit at the back. At the initial stage, I wasn't sitting at the back. I was still going to sit in front. It was later on that I just decided to start sitting at the back so that I can get all the comfort, work out if I feel like, and everything. So I was always dozing off. I would just doze off. The only time I don't doze off is maybe when I'm actively dancing, but by the time that they can be sharing testimony and I am tired and I'll be fighting sleep and I'm like, I slept overnight, what is happening? So I was always dozing off. Then the last 2 symptoms I think I can remember and I'd like to share is how I couldn't tolerate protein and I couldn't tolerate the animal soup. All through my first trimester, I think it was my husband that cooked. My husband was the one doing active cooking. He was the one cooking because if I smell soup, in fact, he will lock the kitchen door, lock the living room door, lock my room door. I don't just want to perceive the smell. The moment I perceive it, I am irritated. To be like as if I want to vomit. By the way, as nauseous as I felt, as irritating as all these things might look, I never vomited for once all through my pregnancy. I didn't vomit at all. But the feeling that I want to vomit is just, it's always just overwhelming. So I could not tolerate the smell of soup. So I didn't prepare stew at all. Maybe I'll just quickly do rice, then tell my husband to come and make stew, or let me do something else, or it will just even do the whole cooking from beginning to the end. The only protein I could tolerate was egg, boiled egg. So I'll just boil egg and use it to eat whatever I want to eat. It's either I eat it bland without any protein, or I eat it with egg. And even the egg, I think it was at a point that I could tolerate it. I couldn't tolerate it from the onset at all. Fish, I tried different varieties of fish. It wasn't just going. Meat, it wasn't just going. Chicken, beef, turkey, I couldn't tolerate it until I think second trimester, maybe the middle of second trimester. Halfway into the journey, that was when I now started taking all those things back. Okay, so now the second trimester. Second trimester was very interesting. I enjoyed my second trimester. My second trimester started in, say, January to March. Yeah, January to March. So then, Although when I started this year, truth be told, I didn't set any goal. The page of the book where I was my journal of that part, I just wrote 2023 goals. I didn't write anything there because I was just like, God, how am I going to do it this way? I'm feeling, I'm actually going to achieve anything for 6 months pregnancy, last 6 months newborn. How am I going to do it? What am I going to do? But one way or the other, I was able to find help, and I thank God for how far He helped me with that. The second trimester, I had an increased energy. I was able to walk. But now the issue is, whatever thing I want to do that has to be work, like that I'm going to use my head to think, my work basically, I have to do it between the hours of 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. or 12. I'll just notice that once it's 12, 11, 12 like this, there's just a dive. Psh, I will be struggling. So whatever it is that I have to do, I wake up early and I do it around that period. Then when I'm done, I go back to bed and I sleep. Sometimes when I have to go to work, I'll go. If I don't have to go to, I'm just at home. I'll just quickly rush up my work, and that's all. I still had evening sickness. Once it's evening again, I'll just be looking. I can't comprehend anything again. I'll just be looking, look around. I can't even watch movies and enjoy it. So that was how that one too went. Then again, the symptom I had again in my second trimester was hip pain. Oh Jesus. Every time I go for my antenatal, I would always complain to the doctor that I'm having hip pain, I'm having abdominal pain. It was later on that I realized, okay, the abdominal pain was normal because of my ligament stretching, my body stretching and all. Then the pelvic pain, I was like, is it not too early? The baby does not even have weight yet. Why am I doing this? Why am I having pain? Guys, it got so bad that it got to a stage that I started limping. I could not walk properly. And I'm like, my stomach is not even yet big. This baby is not big yet. I was limping, guys. I could not walk. The pain was terrible. I think my left leg. It was an unforgettable experience. But after, like, I think a month. Yeah, did it stay up to a month? Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I got better and I could walk normally again. Then again, it was between that January and March that was my energy level now increased and I was able to work on my book. So I picked up my book again. I started writing. I'd written it before, so I started rewriting, checking in, rewriting. Then I said, okay, I want to publish this book. So I started working actively on my book. From Trauma to Triumph, a self-help guide for overcoming childhood trauma. Do ensure that you get a copy. That book is definitely going to bless you. It will help you recover from all the traumas that you didn't even know that you have as a result of your upbringing. So make sure you get your copy. So that was when I was able to work on the book, and I set my launch date to third trimester. Third trimester was between April and June, and my due date was in June. So it was between April and June. So I developed content strategy, I had the rigorous campaign for my book for like I think 2 months. But it couldn't be rigorous because there are times I don't just have the energy as much as I desire to work. But I worked back to back. I would design the stuffs myself. I could not shoot video because at that point I was already stolen, so I wasn't shooting video, just maybe 1 or 2 Then I started just doing design, using my phone to do designs, to publish the book, write the book, speak to editors, speak to this, speak to that. And thankfully I had friends that were very supportive. My sister and my friend, they were very helpful. They were helping me. Okay, do it this way, do it that way. Okay, let me help you do this, do that. And that was how that journey went. Third trimester, I was able to launch my book, and I'm so excited about that, and I'm grateful for God to that too. And I started preparing for the arrival of the baby. By the way, I did my shopping in second trimester. Yes, was it second trimester? Yes, I think in the month of March, towards the end of second trimester. Yeah, I did my baby shopping. I went to the market, got everything that I needed around that period. So now April, May, June, third trimester. One thing that was very distinct about that third trimester is VIP treatment. At this point, people already knew that, okay, I'm pregnant. So how are you, ma? How do you feel, ma? How do you do this one? If are you okay? If should I send you this? What's your craving? Guys, I did not have cravings, so I didn't have cravings. But I enjoyed taking fruits. African style apple, agbalumo, udara. Mangoes, oh my God, I can sit down and I'm going to finish like 4 large mangoes. If it's small, maybe I can take like 6. So I'll just sit down and finish maybe 6 to 8 mangoes at once, and I'll be fine. That was the thing I was able to eat very well. Then I knew that third trimester, my baby's adding fat every day, so I was careful of snacks. Even all through the journey, I didn't really eat snacks so to say, like that, just once in a while, when I really just feel like, okay, maybe I should just, I can count the number of times I had to take confectionaries, meat pie, sausage roll, and all of those things. This third trimester, I went to bank a lot. I had to make some transactions, and favor was speaking. Yeah, Beji, come here. Yeah, Beji, come here. Let's do it for you. So I got VIP treatment. People took care of me. People were kind to me, and as it should be. We thank God. After all this fine, smooth second trimester, that's how third trimester came, and it came with back pain. Guys, I will be doing like this, trying to find a comfortable position when I'm sitting, when I want to sleep. The back pain was just a lot. Like, it was a lot, but we thank God. At least we are I'm over that now. I'm over that. Then again, my third trimester, I went through a season of emotional distress. I was not fine. I was just, my emotions were just everywhere. I'll just sit down. Sometimes I can be sad. I'll just say, I will not be depressed in the name of Jesus. What's happening to me? And that season went and it passed. Then now we're praying for the arrival of the baby. I remember how my husband would just be saying, hey, this baby should just come. Especially from 34, 35 weeks. We'd be like, hey, this baby should just come. Because it sees me in so much discomfort, the way I'm walking. You know, now you will now start walking like a penguin. They were or like a dog. So you say this baby should just come. I say, no, not yet time. Any moment from 37 weeks, the baby can come. I say, okay. So I started actively doing exercise, eating things that can ripen my cervix, making research on how to naturally induce labor. And I was doing those things actively. But as much as I did them, every day I was squat. Sometimes I even have the energy to go up to like maybe 100 squats in a day. At the end of the day, the baby did not come when I wanted it to come, like 37, 38, 39 weeks. So, but I remember then when I want to sleep, my husband will have to, my tummy was already big and long. Because I don't have body, so I don't know. My tummy was just long. So my husband, if I want to sleep in bed like this and I have to turn, it will have to help me use hand to carry my tummy up. I will now turn. We will now use I don't know how I can really describe that experience. I just know that my husband is able to carry my tummy every time I want to turn, so that it can be easy for me to turn without pain. Then I was always having lighting crouch. I think that's when I would just feel a sharp pain in my hip anytime I want to turn. So that was the thing about the trimester. But in fact, it was when I sat down to highlight everything that happened in each of the trimester, that was when I realized that I actually had, like, my whole pregnancy journey came with its own back and forth too. Because overall, when people ask me like, how has been your pregnancy journey, I'll just say, show me that I'm glowing, me that I had energy, I'm fine. It was a very smooth journey. But I just sat down and I realized that it wasn't all smooth. I actually had a little not so good experience, but in whole, my pregnancy journey was smooth. I am very grateful to God to that, and I'm praying for everyone watching too, that when it is your time, much more than I enjoyed ease, much more than I enjoyed favor, much more than I enjoyed comfort, God will give you much more ease in the name of Jesus. Your pregnancy journey will come with so much ease. That was my pregnancy journey in short. So the next video you'll be seeing after now is my blessing story. Guys, you don't want to miss that video. I am going to share my testimony. Yes, God kept me. You don't want to miss it. So ensure that you watch the video immediately after this one. That's all about my first trimester, second trimester, and third trimester, my emotions, how I felt, my glow, and everything in between. So the next video after this, I'll be sharing my blessing story. That one is a very long video because God has done me well, guys. Your ears will cringe when you hear it. You will thank God for me. I'm super grateful to God for that journey. Make sure you like this video, share it with your pregnant friends or those that are about to get pregnant, or anybody. Share this video if you like my face too. Share this video, drop a comment, thank God for me, tell me one thing you enjoyed about this video. Make sure you drop a comment. Then if you haven't subscribed, why now? Ensure you hit the subscribe button and you subscribe. Till I come your way again, nurture the light within you. Bye.